Tua Tagovailoa had the best performance of any quarterback in Week 1. He, alongside Tyreek Hill, were the main reasons the Dolphins defeated the Chargers last week, and it might have been the best performance of Tua's young career. He was just letting it rip in LA, and made some of the best throws of the day from any quarterback. Tua showed what we already knew in the short and intermediate passing game, but I was really impressed with how he evolved as the game progressed. He was playing out of structure, he was throwing with a faster release, and he might just have a killer deep ball now. I wanted to break down his performance, so let's do that. The first thing I want to do is go over Tua and Miami's bread and butter, which are fast, intermediate passes. The Dolphins love running plays like this, and it fits so well within Mike McDaniel's scheme. It's based a lot around what Kyle Shanahan runs with the 49ers, which makes sense because McDaniel used to be a Shanahan assistant, and it's part of the reason why Miami's offense is as explosive as it is. Some of these plays are just Tua staying in structure and running the offense with a little bit of flair, but what Tua has gotten better at while running these plays are the speed and anticipation of his throws. Let's start with this 2nd and 10 play, where Tua is going to target this slant over the middle. Kenneth Murray is here running a zone and is going to cheat down just a little bit when the play starts. Because of that, Tua knows he'll have space to throw where Murray just vacated, and make sure to target that area early. It's a really nice throw, and one that leaves Tua's hand before the receiver even clears Murray, and it results in a really good play. The examples are just going to get better from here. It's 2nd down inside the 10, and Miami is going to run a pre-snap shift with Raheem Mostert that's going to get these two linebackers to jump like they're blitzing. Tua's job here is to make a right-to-left read where Mostert and Jalen Waddle are running a wheel slant combo, while Tyreek Hill races down the middle on a crossing route after coming in motion. Here's the problem. These two defenders aren't blitzing. They're dropping back into zones, which is going to make a potential throw to Hill more difficult. He'll have to make it anyway though, as neither Waddle or Mostert are going to be open, and he's got to make the throw quickly, or else the window is going to close. Let's go to the tight angle to see how this turns out. Snap is taken, right no, left yes, boom, complete pass. Did you miss it? Let's watch it again. Tua very quickly sees the two options on the right aren't open, and then just as quickly makes the throw to Hill into the space available. It's great timing too, as Hill hadn't even cleared this defender when the pass was thrown. It's so quick, it's so fast, and it's so good from Tua. But the throw he made just 2 plays earlier was even better. It's 2nd and 10, Miami has a wide bunch that will turn into a quads look with the motion, and the Chargers have a very deep safety playing a deep half. This is probably to counter Hill's speed, but McDaniel will exploit that by having him run this post route underneath the safety. It's a good play design, but an even better throw from Tua. I mean, just look at where he releases this ball. Hill has not 1, not 2, but 3 defenders near him as Tua throws it. And yet, he anticipated it so well that he's confident enough to throw it here, and it works. With the early release, Tua had lots of space to lead Hill into, essentially throwing him open. The accuracy is amazing here. He's also making very difficult throws while running these plays as well, ones where his accuracy was very much on display. While Tua was still playing in structure on these, some of the windows he had to throw into were extremely tight, but he managed to get the job done anyway. Here's a 2nd and 13 where Hill is running the same route as the previous play, and it's a high-low read with this route underneath as well. Tua may not have a big window to throw this post, as these two defenders are going to converge on a throwing lane, but Tua solves this with another well-timed pass. Once again, he anticipates the route early, and is able to throw it right on time for a big gain. That may not have looked like a tight window, but let's check the tight angle. You can see this linebacker gets so close to breaking up the pass here. If that ball is out a half second later, it's likely incomplete. But this was the obvious keyhole pass from Tua. Game on the line, and Miami is running a goal line fade with Hill against man coverage. Hill is not that tall. Tua doesn't care. He somehow is able to thread this pass in the smallest window possible for the touchdown. Again, the accuracy here is just brilliant. If it's just 1% less accurate, it's likely incomplete, but instead, Tua throws a perfect fade to a 5'10" receiver. But Tua was able to play out of structure in this game as well, and way better than he was able to do last season. Usually, he just sticks to the offense and do what his reads tell him to do, but against LA, he was improvising, making plays on the run, and making great throws while doing them. Let's go back to earlier in the game on this 3rd and 8 play. Tua wants to throw to Hill, who's running this route. It's paired with this quarter route up here and what looks like another high-low read against a cover 5 look. For whatever reason, Tua decides he can't throw the pass, but he doesn't panic. Instead, he steps up, escapes pressure, and makes a throw on the run to the backside crossing route after getting face masked by Joey Bosa. And again, great ball placement and speed from Tua as well. Later in the game on the 2nd and 9, he does something similar. He first reads the boundary side of the field with this 9 route from Hill and what looked like a curl route from Waddle, but he fades up a little bit. Both are tightly covered and Tua doesn't like it, so he decides to be a creator. He escapes to the left to find something new and sets his eyes on this wide open target downfield. Despite being so far on the run, he makes a great, accurate throw, and it gets a good chunk of yardage for a first down. Once again, Tua is out of structure, but he's thriving out of structure. This was really good from Tua as well, even though it was an incomplete pass. It's first and goal, 2 plays before that touchdown to Hill, and Miami is running these double posts on the wide side. But they'll both be ruined by Eric Kendricks, who steps towards one of these routes when the play begins, and because Kendricks is where he is, it essentially takes away the second post route. The one high safety is there to bracket the number 3 receiver as well. Despite the coverage, 2022 Tua would have targeted one of these posts anyway because he would have trusted the structure too much. But the difference between that Tua and 2023 Tua is that 2023 Tua says no to the double post and chooses to operate out of structure instead. He leaves the pocket and initiates a scramble drill, which makes Braxton Berrios run towards Tua to try and get more open, and he does. By playing out of structure, Tua created a much better option for himself. The throw is great too. It's fast, it gets by Murray in a flash, but it just isn't hauled in by Berrios. Still, a great job from Tua to try to make something happen here. Here's an earlier play to Berrios that was complete though. It's 3rd and 15, and Miami is running 2 deep routes to try and convert it. But both are going to be bracketed by these safeties. This route out here won't be enough for the first, so Tua has to hit Berrios on this crosser. But before Berrios can get across the field, Tua's under pressure. He can't take a sack, so what does he do? He escapes, rolls left, and with a man in his face, unleashes a perfectly thrown pass to Berrios that is just enough for the first down. We can see how absurd this throw is on the tight angle. I mean, it's just perfect ball placement where only Berrios can catch it and stay in bounds. Beautiful throw from Tua. So we went over Tua's mechanics, and we also went over one of Tua's new skills, which is his ability to play out of structure. But now, let's get to the main event, Tua's deep ball. This is where he had struggles last year, and for most of the game, it looked like those struggles remained. On the first play of Miami's second drive, Tua goes deep for the first time. Hill is running a deep post towards the wide side where this deep safety is. And despite running this route towards the direction of the safety, Hill runs a great route. He leaves JC Jackson in the dust and gets the safety's hips turned. But Tua just doesn't have enough juice to complete the pass. Part of that was because there was that deep safety, so it left little room for error. Tua had to throw this pass out in front between the corner and the safety, and he just didn't, and it resulted in a pass breakup. A similar thing happened on this 1st and 10 play. We have another deep post against more man coverage with one high safety, and again, Tua just doesn't have the juice to put this ball where it needed to be. In his defense, he's a little bit under pressure, and the throw is a bit off platform, but still, it's not the best throw, and one that could have resulted in a way worse outcome. But later in the game, Tua fixed it. On 1st and 10 in LA territory, Tua notices something. He sees Derwin James, the safety on the boundary side of the field, cheat down a little bit. On that same side sits Hill against Jackson, who struggled all game. And guess what he's running against that struggling corner? A 9 route. This is gold for Miami, and Tua takes advantage. Hill gets a great release off the line, and this time, Tua has the juice. He uncorks one down the field, and it's not underthrown. It hits Hill in stride for a vital 6 points. The little look off to the left side of the field to keep James where he is was impressive as well. Great play, and an even better throw from Tua. And then, on the final drive of the game, Tua threw an even better deep ball. It's 3rd and 10, we again have Hill in one-on-one coverage, but this time he's running what looks to be a delayed fade or wheel route. We have 2 high safeties again, but they'll both cheat down this time. And like the last play, that is gold for the Dolphins. But Tua still has to make the throw, and he has to step up to do it because Khalil Mack is going to be closing in quick here. While he does that, while he has a man in his face, and while he's on the move, Tua throws the best pass of his career off platform, and it hits Hill right in stride. I mean, look at the awareness, look at the pocket movements, and of course, the ability to get that ball out there in the first place is amazing. If Tua can do that the whole season, it's safe to say his deep ball is fixed. So, there you have it. What we saw against the Chargers was a new and improved Tua Tagovailoa. He already made a leap last season, but it appears he's got room for another leap this season. Tua was already able to show good timing on his passes, operate well in structure, and be great with short and intermediate passes, and we saw that in this game. What he struggled in last season was playing out of structure and throwing it deep. But, as evidenced by what we just saw, those problems seem to be fixed. He's just playing a lot smarter now while keeping his best traits, and if he can sustain that, then watch out. We may see a lead play from Tua all season long. That'll end things here. Make sure to like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, and share this video with others as well. And as always, thanks for watching.